Hello, myself Sunil Ramakrishna. Here basically we are discussing one of the topic that is city creation. In this basically we are discussing one of the dangerous topic that is future creation basically. So one of the person told that this is the future creation basically. That is where blast is going to happen basically. So that is basically created by whom basically. So city going to create basically. One of the person asked the question basically. That is basically valid question basically. That is this basically. That is this question basically. That is this question basically.
The Indian state of Gujarat is gearing up for the vibrant Gujarat Global Summit. The biennial business event for investment is in the state, starts from the 10th of January, and it will see the participation of several international leaders and dignitaries. Ahead of the summit, the highlight will be a major roadshow led by Indian Prime Minister.
The new Tata Tiago ICN.
How do you get started in digital marketing? Grab this course on Udemy. You'll get introduced to
One of the person told that basically this vibrant Gujarat basically which is happening, going to happen basically in 2024, which is going to happen basically, that is basically going to generate what basically. One of the person asked the question basically. One other person asked the question basically, what is that going to generate? If the government is telling that basically this basically we are going to launch, that means they have everything basically ready basically. Everything basically they have ready. Then only basically they submit the data basically. That is the things basically vibrant Gujarat basically creation is going to happen basically. Without basically data basically they can't confirm basically. So one of the person told that basically this is the future data and that is going to create cities creation or basically going to happen basically, or basically it's going to happen the areas creation basically. Area is going to create or basically city is going to create, and that basically area is going to create basically vitamins. This acid area basically is going to create what basically vitamins, and area basically connects to directly what basically apple creation basically. Here basically I have taken the example of human needs basically, that is apple. In here basically it can be petrol also, it can be oil also, it can be peru also, it can be pineapple also, it can be orange also, it can be anything basically. It can be anything basically. It can be anything basically. So here basically they are assume that basically they are creating vitamin A basically. They are creating vitamin A. So one of the person told that vitamin A is going to create what basically. So few people told that basically where blast is going to happen basically. That basically they are going to set the data. They are going to set the data basically. So people just see basically the depthness of the thing also basically. One of the person told that vitamin A basically is generating what basically. One of the person told that vitamin A is going to generate where the blast is going to happen. So where the blast is going to happen means what basically? The environment which is going to set by the power companies, the RDX basically which is going to create, that are basically creating by this apple basically. Then one of the person told that an apple basically creation by this city basically and that area basically. Then one of the power company and the nuclear power company told that yes basically you are 100% correct basically. You are 100% correct basically telling basically that this is going to generate that only basically. That is One of the person told that blast basically requires what basically. One of the person told that few RDX, if entire building basically is containing the RDX data, na, then also basically it's not going to blast. Why? Because without power company it's not going to blast basically. Without power company it's not going to blast basically. So that power data is also basically created by the vitamin A. So one of the person told that ये doctor लोग क्या है भाई? Who are these doctors basically? One of the person literally asked the question basically, who are these doctors basically? And one of the person told that also basically, who are basically this group basically who are selling the apples, who are basically doing the mall business, who are basically doing the store business, who are this group basically? And few people directly told that also basically, who are basically this group basically who are handling everything basically. And one of the person told directly that also basically, that who is the chief minister of the state basically, and who is the prime minister also basically of this everything basically, which is telling that basically, which is basically telling that basically where the blast is going to happen basically. For that basically the data basically are preparing basically. So you can just imagine very dangerous the world is basically. One of the world basically which is getting got created basically, it has created very dangerously basically. It has basically created very dangerously basically, because where blast is going to happen basically. For that basically vitamins data basically are prepared basically. The vitamin data basically are prepared. So one of the person told that this apple is assume that basically this apple basically is going to create one blast basically. Assume basically, just taking as an example. So in apple creation basically what are the things going to create? One is RDX. Second is the, for example, 2 kilometer blast is going to happen. So that 2 kilometer require the power supply. So for that basically power company is going to generate, power company is going to collect the power supply basically for the particular. So one of the person asked the question basically, ये सब कहाँ store होता है basically, where this are getting stored basically. So few people told that basically it is getting stored in the human body basically, and few people told that basically it's getting stored in the nuclear power company basically, which is keeps getting processing the data, keeps getting processing the data, keeps getting the process. Few people say that basically nowadays it's a digital world basically, so that is stored in the software company basically, and it's stored in the server basically in the form of data, in the form of data. So one of the person told that if it's like that basically, then who are server company creators basically, because they are creating the nuclear they are creating the blast data basically, that is the 2 kilometer basically going to generate the blast data basically, that is the environment data basically, and RDX data basically. So one of the person told that basically this everything basically the big software company also basically might be knowing, 100% might be knowing basically. That's why basically they are earning the 90,000 crore. They are basically not earning basically like this money, basically 90,000 crore, it's a bigger money basically, you can just imagine basically. So one of the person told that basically, who know basically this everything basically, because in IT industry basically if this type of data basically is getting prepared, 100%, 98% basically data is getting prepared from the software company basically, that is 100% sure. But which software company, that basically we can't track basically. So one of the person told that basically, who basically know this everything basically, that Apple basically is going to generate blast data for the future blast basically, that is the environment setting data, and another is the RDX data, and few basically people basically which are going to do that basically. So one of the person asked the question basically, which software company know this everything basically. So it's very dangerous data basically. One of the person told that yes, here basically it's very dangerous to sit in the software company also basically nowadays. It's very dangerous to sit in software company also. So one of the person told that that type of data basically they might be keeping in the big software company basically, or they might be having some separate park like Hinjawadi, and basically Bangalore also basically lots of park, and with the high tech security basically, and that high tech security basically chief minister only basically do basically, they itself basically handles this every situation basically. So one of the person told that that might be possible basically. So it's not, we can't basically say anything basically. So in next video basically we are going to see a little bit more about that blast data.